Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Morning. Okay. So in last class, we are actually discussing some of the numerical problems based on unsymmetrical fault analysis. So today we'll continue with the same. Now, let us say the sequence voltage in the three rate phases are ER0, that is these are the zero sequence and the positive sequence and the negative sequence voltage. Find the phase voltage ER, EY and EB. So in this case, zero sequence, positive sequence and negative sequence voltages are given. You are supposed to calculate the phase voltages, that is the red phase, Y phase and blue phase. Now, how to solve this problem? So we know that red phase, that is equal to ER0 plus ER1 plus ER2. ER0, ER1 and ER2, all these values are given. So here you see this is 100 angle 0. Here this is r theta form, it is xy form, that is a Cartesian coordinate form it is given. So you need to convert it into r theta form. And this is your minus 100 angle 0. So what has to be done? So you have to this 100 minus 100, you can convert it 100 angle 180 degree. So basically cos 180 plus j sin 180. So cos 180 will be minus. So that's why it will be minus 100. Now, if you substitute these values, that is ER0, ER1 and ER2, so you will get the value of ER. Now, EY equal to ER0 plus S square into ER1 plus A into ER2. Now, these formulas are whether it is familiar with you, this ER, EY and EB. This formula you know. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here A square equal to 1 angle 240 degree because A equal to 1 angle 240 degree. Then this A we have substituted 1 angle 120 degree and this ER0, ER1 and ER2, these are all known to us. Okay, these are all known to us. So finally, we can simplify this and we can get the value of this voltage. Now EB equal to ER0 plus A into ER1 plus S square into ER2. Similar way here, we'll substitute A equal to 1 angle 120 degree and S square equal to 1 angle 240 degree. So remaining voltages will substitute. So finally, we are getting this EB value. Okay. Next problem. The zero and positive sequence component of the red phase are given. That is ER0 and ER1 is given. If the phase voltage ER equal to 3 volt, find the negative sequence component of red phase and the phase voltages of EY and EB. So you are here ER0 and ER1 is given. You need to calculate what is the negative sequence component of the red phase, that is ER2 you are supposed to calculate, and apart from that you are supposed to calculate the phase voltages, that is EY and EB. So we'll apply that formula, same formula, that is ER equal to ER0 plus ER1 plus ER2, that is the red phase voltage equal to zero sequence voltage plus positive sequence voltage plus negative sequence voltage. So ER equal to 3 and this ER0 is known to us, ER1 is 2, these values are given, these values are already given. So we'll substitute this and we'll calculate this ER2 value. ER2 equal to, you can simplify that 1 angle 60 degree. Now ER0 value is known to us. Okay, this is actually ER0 is given. Now EY equal to, we know that ER0 plus S square into ER1 plus E into ER. So ER0 is given, then your ER1 value it is also given. ER2 you have already calculated. Now S square equal to 1 angle 240 degree, A equal to 1 angle 120 degree. So if you substitute this, then you will get this value. Now EB equal to ER0 plus A into ER1 plus S square into ER2. A is 1 angle 120 degree and S square is 1 angle 240 degree. So we'll substitute these values. EB we are getting 0. Is it clear? Any doubt? Any doubt on this problem? Any doubt? Anyone? Hello?
No.
No, sir.
Okay. So we'll move to next problem. Now next problem is the current from the neutral to ground. It is 12 ampere. Calculate the zero phase sequence component in phases. Can you tell that how to solve this problem? Here neutral current is given 12 ampere. So what will be the zero sequence component of the current? Zero sequence component equal to 1/3 of the neutral current? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So zero sequence current I0 equal to 1/3 of the neutral. So from there you can calculate the zero sequence component of the current. So zero sequence component will be 1/3 into 12. So that is equal to basically 4 ampere. Yeah. Next problem is a three-phase four-wire system supplies load which are unequally distributed in the three phases. An analysis of the current flowing in R, Y, and B line shows that in R line, positive phase sequence current component is 200 angle 0 ampere and the negative phase sequence component is 100 angle 60 ampere. The total observed current flowing back to the supply in the neutral conductor is 300 angle 300 ampere. Calculate the current in the three lines. So, what are the parameters are given? Here, positive sequence component is given, negative phase sequence component is also given, and it is also given that is the neutral current. Okay, that IN is also given. You need to calculate the three-phase current. Okay, so we'll apply the same thing. So, neutral current IR0, zero sequence current will be 1/3 of the current in the neutral wire. That is already we have proved it. Okay, so 1/3 into 300 angle 300. So you will get 100 angle 300 ampere. Now positive sequence current it is given that is 200 angle 0. Then negative sequence current it is also given 100 angle 60 ampere. So if you add these three, so you will get IR. So IR equal to basically IR0 plus IR1 plus IR2. So if you add all these three, so you will get the current in the red phase. Then Y phase current will be IY equal to IR0 plus S square into IR1 plus A into IR2. So here S square equal to 1 angle 240 degree, A equal to 1 angle 120 degree. So you will substitute the remaining values. So you can calculate the value of IY. And IB equal to IR0 plus A into IR1 plus S square into IR2. So similar way you will substitute all these value. So you will get the value of the IB. Okay. Next problem is one conductor of a three-phase line is open. The current flowing to delta connected load through the line R is 10 ampere with the current in the R phase as reference, and assuming that the line B is open, find the symmetrical components of the line current. So there is a fault on the line B. B phase is faulty. Okay. There is basically the circuit is delta connected and current through the red phase is 10 ampere. Okay. So what will happen? We'll see with the help of this diagram. This IR, that is red phase current is 10 ampere. Okay. So it is 10 angle 0, let us say. Then you have, then you have another, see, there is a fault on one phase. So when there is a fault on one phase, so that current will be 0. B phase is open. Here it is written B phase is open. So B phase is open means IB will be equal to 0. Then IY will be equal to, as there is a two-phase system, so there will be phase difference is 180 degree. So it is 10 angle 180 degree. So in this case, what we'll do, we'll apply that formula IR0 equal to 1/3 of IR plus IY plus IB. So we'll substitute all this value, we get the value of IR0. Then IR1 equal to 1/3 of IR into A into IY plus S square into IB. So we'll substitute all these values. So you'll get the IR1. Then IR2 equal to 1/3 of IR into S square into IY plus A into IB. So again, the same thing. You have to substitute all these values, then you will get the IR2. Now, for Y phase, IY0 equal to IR0. So we know that IR0 is equal to 0 ampere. So this obviously this IY0 will be equal to 0 ampere because the zero sequence component of all phases that is equal. IR0 equal to IY0 equal to IB0. Now IY1 will be equal to S square into IR1. So we'll substitute this. And then IY2 equal to A into IR2. Okay. B phase, this is IB0 equal to IR0. Then IB1 equal to A into IR1. Okay. And IB2 equal to S square into IR2. Okay. So if you substitute all these things, so you will get the value of the B phase current, which is calculated here. Okay. So now I will tell you, just you do one calculation here. Okay. You just you just cross check whether you are getting these values or not, because when you have to calculate with the help of calculator, you may face some difficulty. So please do it. Okay. So just you calculate the values of IR0, IR1, IR2. You just see this and you calculate by yourself. Okay. You do on your calculator and check whether you are getting these values or not. Let us check it. Okay. So please check these values, these R phase values, whether you are getting this IR0, IR1 and IR2. Are you doing this thing? Are you doing the calculation? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, please check, because you have to do later on. Use your calculator. Okay. Just check with the help of your calculator whether you are getting this value or not. If you are getting,
सर 60 डिग्री आ रहा है,
huh?
फर्स्ट का -60 और सेकंड का 60 आ रहा है.
Which one?
फेज
IR0.
IR1 सर
IR1 क्या आ रहा है?
-60 डिग्री.
This value is correct, na? 5.78. This is correct. Are you getting this value? 5.78. Are you getting this value?
Yes sir.
And are you getting this value? This 5 minus j 2.89?
Yes sir.
So you should get it. Then you see this value is, what is this? 5 minus j 2.89. Okay. So your, let us say 5 minus x equal to 5 minus j 2.89. What will be your theta? Theta will be tan inverse of 2.89 by 5. What is the value?
Sir, negative के साथ.
I'll tell you, na? I'll tell you. What is the value you are getting?
59.9 degree.
59.9 degree. Almost it is 60 degree. Okay. So it is lying in the which axis? It is positive and minus j.29 is here. So point may be here. Yes or no? It will be in the fourth quadrant. Yes or no? This is your real axis. This is your real axis. And this is your imaginary axis. Yes or no? Have you understood this thing? This is your point. The point will lie here, in the fourth quadrant. So what will be the angle? Angle is? What will be the angle? So this 60 degree, what you have got, this is your 60 degree. Now, this is your 30 degree. Now, what we have written here, it is basically minus 30 degree means as it is in the clockwise direction. So that's why it is written minus 30 degree. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you check other values. IR2 you are getting or not? IR2, whether you are getting or not. Okay. IR2.
Yes, sir. Same order.
Correct. So I think you have got these values. So this way actually you have to calculate. Okay. The calculation thing, whatever the calculation will come, that you have to do in your calculator so that you should be familiar with this particular type of convention. Next problem, a delta connected load is supplied from a three-phase supply. The fuse in the V line is removed and current in the other two line is 20 ampere. Find the symmetrical components of line currents. So delta connected load is there. It is supplied from a three-phase supply and B phase is open. Now the current in other two lines means the R phase currents and Y phase current, it is given 20 ampere. We need to calculate what is the symmetrical components of the line. Symmetrical components of the line means you need to calculate what is the zero sequence component, what is the positive sequence component, and what is the negative sequence component. So let us apply it. So here your IR is 20 angle 0. So when one phase will be open, other phase angle will be 180 degree. So 20 angle 180 degree, IB will be equal to 0. So IR0 will be equal to 1/3 of IR plus IY plus IB. So you will substitute all these values. Then IR1 will be equal to 1/3 into IR plus A into IY plus A square into IB. You need to substitute the remaining values. And then IR2 equal to 1/3 of IR plus A square into IY plus A into IB. So again, you need some calculation. So you will substitute all these values. So you will get this IR2. So when you have got this IR2, then other phases, Y phase and B phase, what will be the current sequence component currents? So IY0 will be equal to IR0 because all zero sequence component will be equal. Then IY1 equal to A square into IR1. So A square into IR1, we need to substitute this thing. Then IY2 equal to A into IR2. Then B phase, IB0 equal to IR0. So IB1 equal to A into IR1 and IB2 equal to A square into IR. Okay. So if you substitute all these things, so you will get this particular sequence component current in the other phases. Now next topic is the sequence impedances. So the sequence impedances, obviously, how the sequence impedance will come into the picture. We have seen that in case of any unsymmetrical analysis, we can actually decompose any unsymmetrical current into sequence component of currents. Okay, that is basically any unsymmetrical current can be decomposed into three components, that is a zero sequence component, a positive sequence component, and the negative sequence component. Now, when there is a current, so current is coming because of the potential voltage. So voltage is there, that is the source, and because of that the current is flowing. So in the ratio of the voltage by the current is basically your impedance. Okay, so there is an existence of the impedance. So those impedances are basically known as the sequence impedances. So these sequence impedances, it is related with the sequence components only. It is not related with other impedance. It is not like a normal impedance. It is the impedance which is actually come into the picture into this particular analysis because of the symmetrical components of the currents which is existing in the unsymmetrical fault analysis. So now, for example, the impedance which any piece of equipment offers to positive sequence current will not necessarily be the same as offered to the negative sequence current or the zero sequence. So obviously, it is we have seen that the current, the positive sequence current, the negative sequence current, and the zero sequence current, they are all different. Okay, their magnitude and their angles all are different. So when there is a difference in the magnitude and the angle, so we need to understand there is a concept of the impedance. So those impedances will also not be equal. So therefore, in unsymmetrical fault calculation, each piece of equipment will have three values of the impedances, one corresponding to each sequence current. So there are basically, due to those three sequence component of the current, there is the existence of the three sequence impedances. That is the positive sequence impedance, then the negative sequence impedance, and the zero sequence impedance. Just a minute, I need to check. Hello, am I audible? Okay, I was disconnected. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, I was disconnected because of the internet. So this particular, there is the existence of these three sequence impedance. Now, the impedance offered by an equipment or circuit to positive sequence current is called a positive sequence impedance and is represented by Z1. Similarly, the impedances offered by any circuit or equipment to negative and zero sequence currents are respectively called the negative sequence impedance Z2 and zero sequence impedance, that is Z0. So the following points we can conclude from this. First is that in a three-phase balance system, one piece of equipment or circuit offers only one impedance, the one offered to positive or the normal sequence current. This is expected because of the absence of the negative and zero sequence current in the three-phase balance system. Then in a three-phase unbalanced system, each piece of equipment or circuit will have three values of impedances. That is positive sequence impedance, negative sequence impedance, and the zero sequence impedance. The positive and negative sequence impedances of linear, symmetrical, and static circuits. What are the static circuits? The transmission lines, cables, transformers, and static loads are equal and are the same as those used in the analysis of the balance condition. So we need to understand that for these particular cases, means for these static circuits, linear, symmetrical, and static circuits, what are the examples? The transmission lines, then cables, then transformers, and static loads. So these are the basically four cases where we need to understand that the positive sequence impedance and the negative sequence impedance, these two impedances will be equal. But otherwise, what is the case? Which one will be greater, positive sequence or negative sequence? Please tell me. Which sequence impedance will be greater? Hello.
Yes.
Just tell me which sequence impedance will be greater, positive sequence or negative sequence? Usually. Hello.
The positive sequence.
Positive sequence, correct. So this is due to the fact that the impedance of such circuit is independent of the phase order provided the applied voltages are balanced. So because of that reason, what is the reason? It is independent of the phase order. There is no such phase order is because here the voltages are balanced. Okay. So it may be noted that the positive and negative sequence impedances of rotating machines, maybe the synchronous machine or induction machines, are normally different. So only for those static and for the linear and symmetrical circuits, that is the transmission lines, cables, transformers, and static load. For those cases, your positive sequence and negative sequence impedances will be equal. But for other cases, if for the rotating machines, maybe synchronous machine or the induction motors, for those cases, they are basically your sequence impedance will be different. Now, the zero sequence impedance depends upon the path taken by the zero sequence current. Okay. So as this path is generally different from the path taken by the positive and negative sequence currents, therefore zero sequence impedance is usually different from the positive or negative sequence. So normally the value of the impedance for the zero sequence cases, it depends on the how much longer path it is taking. So depending upon that, the value of the zero sequence impedance will differ from the positive sequence or the negative sequence impedance. Next is the sequence impedances of the power system elements. So we need to understand what is the value or what should be the range of values for these sequence impedances of different power system elements. Now the concept of impedances of various elements of power system, that is generator, transformers, transmission lines, etc., to positive, negative, and zero sequence current is of considerable importance in determining the fault currents in a three-phase unbalanced system. So the following main pieces of equipment will be considered in any power system. These are the major equipments. First is the synchronous machine, then second is the transformers, and third is the transmission lines. Now for the synchronous generators, the positive, negative, and zero sequence impedances of rotating machines are generally different. So we have just a few minutes back, we have discussed that for positive, negative, and zero sequence impedances, for rotating machines, it is generally different. So the positive sequence impedance of a synchronous generator is equal to the synchronous impedance of the machines, and the negative than the positive sequence impedance. So it is generally different. Okay. Now the zero sequence impedance is variable item, and if its value is not given, it may be assumed to be equal to the positive sequence impedance. So sometimes the value of this negative sequence or the zero sequence impedance, it is not given. So if it is not given, zero sequence impedance is not given, in that case, we will assume that that is equal to the positive sequence impedance. So in short, we can say that the negative sequence impedance is always less than the positive sequence impedance, and zero sequence impedance will be equal to that is generally the variable item may be taken as equal to the positive sequence impedance if its value is not given. So sometimes this value will not be given, okay, in the numerical problem. So we need to understand if the value is not given, then we can take the same value, whatever value it is given for the positive sequence impedance. Now second is the transformers. So since transformers have the same impedance with reversed phase rotation, their positive and negative phase sequence impedances are equal. So we know that for the transformers, the phase positive and negative phase sequences are, these two are equal. This value being equal to the impedance of the transformer. So normally this value is equal to the value of the transformer. However, the zero sequence impedance depends upon the earth connection. If there is a through circuit for the earth current, zero sequence impedance will be equal to the positive sequence impedance, otherwise it will be infinite. So normally the zero sequence impedance, it is depending on for the transformer, it depends on what type of connections we are providing in the neutral. Okay, in the neutral, whether we are having a star delta connection, whether we have a solid earth connection, or it is grounded through resistance. So depending upon the different kinds of earthing connections, this value of the zero sequence impedance will vary. So in short, we can say for the transformer, the positive sequence impedance equal to negative sequence impedance, and that is equal to the impedance of the transformer, and the zero sequence impedance equal to positive sequence impedance if there is a circuit for each current, and is equal to infinite if there is no true current for the earth current. So if let us say if you have a delta connected circuit, so what should be the zero sequence impedance in that case? Please tell me. For a delta connected circuit, for a transformer, let us say delta connection is there, primary and secondary. Secondary is delta connected. Okay. So in that case, what should be the zero sequence current? Zero sequence impedance. What should be the zero sequence impedance? Please tell me. What should be the zero sequence impedance? If there is no through circuit, what should be that? The delta connected circuit, whether can you connect it to the ground, the neutral point, whether we can connect with the.
Sir, infinite.
It should be infinite. It should be infinite because we cannot connect the neutral of a delta connected circuit with the earth. There is a no through circuit for the earth current. In that case, it should be infinite. Now, next is the transmission lines. Now, the transmission lines we have just a few minutes back we have discussed that the positive sequence and the negative sequence impedance of a line are the same. This value are being equal to the normal impedance of the line. This is expected because the phase rotation of the currents does not make any difference in the constants of the line. So we need to understand for the transmission line, both positive sequence and the negative sequence impedance both are equal. However, the zero sequence impedance is usually much greater than the positive or negative sequence impedance. So this should be greater. So here in this case for the transmission lines, the zero sequence impedance is usually much greater than the positive or negative sequence impedance. So in short, we can say positive for transmission line, the positive sequence impedance will be equal to the negative sequence impedance, that is the impedance of the line, and the zero sequence impedance that will be a variable item and may be taken as the 3 times the positive sequence impedance if its value is not given. So zero sequence impedance will be 3 times of the your positive sequence impedance. Now next is the analysis of the unsymmetrical fault. So before that, let me check whether LMS portal is working or not at this moment. Just a minute, I will check it. It is not working, I think. Okay, it's not working. So what has to be done in that case? You just send this attendance to your HOD. Okay, you all of you will make a sheet, or you can put your attendance in the chat box at this moment. Okay, you can put your attendance in the chat box. From the chat box, I can actually collect the attendance. Okay, because at this moment the LMS portal is not working. Okay, so now the analysis of the unsymmetrical fault. So basically, this. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the analysis of the unsymmetrical faults, the following assumptions will be made. So before performing this analysis, okay, there are certain assumptions out there which we need to understand. First is the generative EMF system is of positive sequence only. So whenever we'll perform this analysis, we need to understand that the EMF will exist, generated EMF will exist for positive sequence only. For the negative sequence, generated EMF will be 0, and for the 0 sequence, the generated EMF will be also 0. Second is no current flows in the network other than due to the fault, or that is the load currents are neglected. So here we are actually neglecting the load current, and we are assuming that only the fault current will flow. Okay, we are not assuming here any other load current. So when we'll perform this analysis, unsymmetrical fault analysis in the network, we'll only concentrate what should be the fault current, and we'll ignore any load if it is connected with the circuit. So the impedance of the fault is 0. Obviously, if there is a fault in any circuit, so impedance of that particular circuit will be 0. Now, phase R shall be taken as the reference phase. Always we need to understand that the R phase is always taken as the reference phase. Now, in each case of the unsymmetrical fault, EMFs per phase are denoted by ER, EY, and EB, and the terminal PD per phase by VR, VY, and VB. Now, this is basically single line to ground fault. So there are, in unsymmetrical fault analysis, there are 3 kinds of faults are there. So what are the different faults? So we'll just take those kinds of faults. So usually in unsymmetrical fault, so unsymmetrical fault, so it is basically 3 types. First is the single line to ground fault. Single line to ground fault. Then we have a double line to ground fault. Double line to ground fault. Then we have, third one is your line to line fault. Third one is your line to line fault. Okay. So first we'll discuss what is the single line to ground fault. So let us say a 3-phase line is there, a 3-phase line. 3 conductors are there. Let us say 3 conductors. One conductor is grounded. This is basically a single line to ground fault. Now, second case, that is the double line to ground fault. So double line to ground fault. So let us say this is a tower. These are the 3 phases. Now, double line to ground fault means there are 2 phases. There are 2 phases. These 2 phases, they are shorted, and finally, this is grounded. So there are 2 lines. Means here, let us say this is R phase. Second one is Y phase. And third is B phase. So Y and B phase is shorted, and that is grounded. So that is basically double line to ground fault. Now next is the line to line fault. So line to line fault means these are basically your 3 phases, and in between these 2, there is a fault. Okay. It may occur in any of the cases. Here it is shown between R and Y. It may occur between Y and B. It may occur between R and B. So any kind of fault may occur. So basically, this is the generally type of fault which is occurring in the system for the unsymmetrical fault category. Now, detail analysis for the single line to ground fault, then double line to ground fault, and line to line fault. We'll perform this thing in the next class. Okay. Any doubt? Any doubt from anyone?
No, sir.
Okay. So you have, I think you have mentioned your all the roll number in your chat box. Okay. So in other part, how much is covered? May I know? In other portion? How much syllabus is, which topic is now continuing? Anyone? Other portion? Nishan sir is taking that class, so please tell me that so that we can I can have a guess of that this much portion is covered. How much portion is covered in the other part?
I think 50% to 60%, sir.
So Which topic is actually
Sir, first and last module.
first and last module? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I have taken the second module.
Yes, sir. Second and third is said going on.
So one topic is left, na? Full module is left.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is, I think, insulation coordination and something like that. Na?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. We'll close this meeting. Thank you. Thank you.